Hey, hi everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So, if you are directly coming from the shorts video, you might know that I'm going to do a session with Aditya, which might be having multiple sessions, not only one session. We will see how it goes since it's a free flow discussion. So, just a brief about Aditya. So, he's a VIT student and he's in his first year and doing his BTech in ML and AI, which is a specialization of CSE, one of the hot fields right now in the era of AI. So he would be asking me some questions that he has, or I would say most of the student has, and he would be asking from a student perspective. So please stay tuned for the whole video to understand and learn about the things that are causing problems to students having they keep having the doubts over and over again. So over to you, Aditya, for the uh, questions. You can ask anything you want. Please feel free.
Hello everyone, I'm Aaditya Agarwal, and firstly, starting with your journey, sir, as you are a software developer in Apollo, and we often have so many doubts and confusion, like how we could reach at your level. Like, what was your career and your roadmap to be at this position?
Okay, okay. So that's a good question, Aditya. It's a question that I have heard from many people asking me the same question, but it's something that has, I mean, that's something everyone wants to know because uh, the longer you stay in a field, you get exposure and you can guide the students and the juniors as well. So, uh, first of all, I would like to tell you that I'd be frank that before joining college, I did not have too much of a computational or let's say coding background. I did have basically basics, but there were few students in my college who had at that time better computational and basically I would say they knew more than the basics. So I had to basically do more on my end to keep up. But that was during the initial days. So my career roadmap started with, I would say, in college only. I started coding. I started with C because in our days, basically there was no AI era of that sort, and it was like turbo C. You go and code it there, but I used to feel bad at that time because why we are doing C because we had Java also at the time and also C++. But later I understood the concept that because it's basically a raw thing C in which you don't have inbuilt libraries and you can go there and basically what you can do is you learn the concepts of pointers. It looked very dreadful at first, scary, but over time I understood the concepts, and when I moved to the object oriented programming languages C++, Java, I mean it was like very easy to me. And what I did during my entire for basically BTech plus MTech. So just a bit of background. So I my highest educational degree is from IIT Dhanbad in computer science and engineering, and basically I've been a college student for 4 plus 2 6 years. So in this whole journey I learned from my peers, from my teachers, and basically from my peer group as well from my seniors. And the main basic thing was to understand the concepts of coding because DSA is a very indispensable part. So my journey included like going into gigs for gigs because right now also gigs for gigs is a very good website to learn, but there are a lot of others as well, lead code as well. In during our time also we had lead code, but gigs for gigs was very much uh, something that was very much followed. So I used to learn some concepts and then apply them to the coding problems. I used to participate in some coding competitions. Uh, Basically, we had some mock interviews among us peers, and we used to consult our seniors as well for networking. So this is basically the way that I prepared, and it was regular. So it's not that even right now for me as well as for other people, uh, they if they don't do regular DSA, they will falter. Even at our experience, DSA is an indispensable part. Maybe that for college students the level is a bit more for DSA. For us it might be one round or two round, for them it might be more than two rounds, but the thing is every round is an elimination round. So uh, the thing is that if you are asking me about the how I did it, it's by practice, practice, and practice. Learning the concepts, then do practice. Both hand in hand. You might have a Thomas Corman book. You just go on reading it, you will forget. Just you might go for a C++ plus plus or Java book. You might learn the concepts, you might forget, but apply them. Apply them daily. Learn a concept, apply them. Do it. Don't look at solutions. Just do it. It might take more time, but over gradually once you practice you will learn that how it works. It's not about coding patterns, it's about more about understanding, because when you are given a coding problem at an interview you have to think how will it be done. So that's the thing.
So, sir, like having not any computational or a programming background doesn't define that we are not lagging in the era of engineering and the software field.
So right now
Like
I would say,
means it is not like mandatory to have a compulsory to have a coding or background from our grade 10th and 12th.
got it. So, Aditya, just asking, did you mean that right before joining college, as I mentioned that I did not,
Ah, yes, sir, yes, sir,
or
yes, sir.
is it maybe doing some college courses in some other field than CSE, or maybe not at all related, having no computational background? Then how do those people go into, let's say, something like AI field? What is your question? So, just wanted to re-ask.
Like any computational background before starting college is necessary.
Okay, okay, okay. So before starting college, so I would say uh, yes, in a sense that it would be good to have the basics. But again, in the AI era that we are actually living in, so there are a lot of resources. So previously, people used to actually go to websites. They were not good websites as well to learn resources. So people and were not that much connected before. I would say students were not that much connected before. Uh, but right now in the AI era, it's very easy. So right now, I would say that even before joining college, do have some computational background, because it's very easy. You have chat gpt, you have everything, you have resources. It's not even going to the websites. So I would say it's not absolutely necessary, because you can catch up after joining college. It's not that it's the end of the world. You can catch up, but the thing is that it's good to have if you have the knack for that. Because it's not that you go into that field, maybe you wanted to go to some other field, you came to this field. You have to have the knack for it before, and if you have the knack for it before, at a student level itself you can explore a lot of things right now. It's at your fingertips with so much of going on AI and everything. It's just a search away, not a Google search, but a search away to the LLMs that we have. So I would say if you have a knack for it, yes, it's very much important, but it's not completely mandatory. You can catch up even after joining college.
Sure, sir. And sir, like there is also a general student perspective.
Okay.
A question arises like who is actually a software engineer is and why the overhyped topic DSA is necessary to become a software engineer.
Okay. So this is basically one of the common things that I've been asked through and through. and not only for students but also for professionals. They do feel why is DSA necessary. So I will just give you an analogy also. So let's say most of us people have given entrance examination, maybe JE or other entrance examination. We are very much people go into, based on their ranks, they go into some respective branches which might not be related directly to the entrance examination that they have given. It could be mostly
Mhm.
on chemistry or mathematics, physics, which are very much necessary. But once you go, you may be choosing a CSE field, which directly doesn't have relation, but indirectly it does, because those exams that you have given, it basically tested your logical thinking ability, your thinking ability. Basically, if you performed quite well, better than the others, it meant that you have better logical skills, good deduction skills, you have sharp thinking skills. So basically you perform in any field which you want. So that's why your rank is better and you can choose any field you want. But for others, maybe not, because they might have lacked in some certain areas, so they have less branches to choose from. So in a way, right now software engineering and DSA are very much similar. I would just tell you what a software engineer actually does. So it's very much necessary for a software engineer to communicate. We have lot of teams. I'm right now working remotely. Even people who are going, so for me, if I'm working remotely, I'm working with distributed teams across the globe. My team is from multiple countries. So the thing is communication. You have to have effective communication. The way to communicate, it's not that you will work in their time zones. You have to communicate maybe asyncly, not syncly. Okay, so when people join, they might think that we have to have, let's say, a call or something. But it's not only sync communication, it's async communication. Sync communication, you have to be to the point. You have to communicate with product managers, to your manager, to your peers, to external stakeholders, everyone. So the thing is, effective communication. Second is your thinking ability. So how quickly you
सिलेबस में ऐसे
how how quickly are you grasping the things, how quickly are you learning the things. So these things are very much necessary. uh, this is the second thing. Third is, let's say a product or a business requirements come. Okay, you have to understand what the requirement is, because people will be telling that this might be possible, this might be doable, but at the end of the day, if you are a software engineer, let's say you are in the development field, you are in the niche development field, or maybe in ML and CS, ML and AI field, you need to understand whether that's feasible or not. You have to not argue with them, but argue in a, let's say, in a like the flow of discussion. You have to make them understand whether that's feasible or not. Think of edge cases, whether that's actually doable or not, and even give your perspective whether that's needed or not. Because we have to, as a software engineer, have to wear different hats. So all in all, you can see that so many things are to be done. First communication, then basically understanding requirements, then basically thinking of feasibility, optimization, and then implementation. Coding is just one part of the daily life that we have. Okay, now how
yes,
does DSA actually relate to all of this? DSA actually challenges the candidate to have all these skills. How? In DSA also, you are supposed to be an effective communicator. Unless you communicate, let's say a coding question is given and you directly jump to the solution, I mean, I would say that would lead to a rejection. Because if you don't ask questions, ask the right questions, don't effectively understand the problem and solve something else, you will be rejected. So that's the thing. First communication, then thinking skills, then how are you optimizing the solution, how are you thinking of optimization, and how are you thinking of actually coding the whole part without any bugs, is what DSA actually evaluates. So it's, if you think in that way, so DSA and software engineering are very much similar. It's the same things that are being evaluated. So DSA is hence such an indispensable part.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Like, sir, uh, which language to start doing DSA and why? And
So
like what, like which frameworks and which tools we need to like be focused on them?
okay. So I would just tell that there are a lot of languages right now. So in product-based companies, when you join a company, you might be interviewing in a different language unless they have very strict requirements. Most of the companies don't. Some may have, but in this AI era, companies are more and more preferring, they used to prefer before also, candidates who can actually know concepts and do in any coding language which they want in the interviews, and later on it might be a completely unrelated language during their daily software engineering journey. So the thing is that I would say, if you want to choose, so your question was based on choosing a language, right, choosing a framework.
Yes, sir.
So the thing is
Yes, sir.
that because of this, in order to get hold of any language later on in your software engineering journey, or maybe any other journey, you need to understand the concepts. You have to have your basics clear, because otherwise you will not be able to take up a language, because you have to have your basics clear. So just start with C, and then move to object oriented programming languages such as C++ and Java. So C is something that is very much important, and also C++ and Java. So it's good if you start with C++ as well, but please do think that whether when you are implementing, let's say, a heap, directly don't go and use the priority queue of basically the STL. So just focus on learning the concept, because in interview you would be asked to implement the priority queue completely, not use the library. There is a heavy chance of that being done. So just focus on C or C++, and then move to Java, and then the other interpreted languages such as Python, everything would be very easy. So one more thing is that other frameworks, you can do web development also, maybe in Java, in Python as well, and you can or basically do some mini projects with including DBs as well, like SQL DB, NoSQL DB. But while doing them, just don't use a NoSQL DB just for the sake of it. Understand why, if for that use case even NoSQL is needed or not. Let's say you are using MongoDB, but you don't have the requirement for that. You are using something of a transactional thing that you could have solved with. You don't have that much data to solve. So, and in this AI era, using AI tools is also very much necessary. But first, understand the concepts. Without the concepts, you will not be able to just vibe code and build up an application. It will not work. And irrespective of whatever anyone says. So AI tools you can use basically for ID. You can use JetBrains if you are using for development, and you have Windsurf, which I regularly use also. In my daily life also I use, but it's for aiding fast development. It's not that it's solving everything on its own. I have to know the things, then only I can use that. So even if I am naming AI tools, please don't blindly use them without knowing the concepts. And as students,
Sure.
please don't do that unless you know the concepts. It will not be good in the long run. And also you can use cursor as well. And basically there are a lot of other tools also that are coming up, like continue.dev and everything. So those are also very good, but they will consume your credit. So please do use wisely if you are using them.
Sure, sir. Like, sir, uh, there is a general question. Like, what to focus on more? Like, we should focus on DSA or web dev, open source, or like competitive programming and like all such steps. Like, which we need to like focus on the most, which actually develops our mindset and problem solving skills, and like actual skills which are needed in the market.
Okay. So your thinking skills will only be developed if you are basically improving your DSS skills. all are important. I will go one by one. So unless you actually sharpen your DSA skills, um, basically you will falter in interviews, because DSA is a very indispensable part for interviews, and more for students, because 2 to 3 rounds will be minimum for DSA. And even for our experience, it would be 1 to 2 rounds. And basically for students, it would be at a much more higher level. It could be lot of things, because they do understand, because at that point they can't ask you system design, the HLD, so they will focus more and more on that. So each round should be judged on your DSA skills, so they would might ask you advanced questions as well. So focus on your DSA skills, that is the indispensable part. Of In parallel, you can focus on your web development. Once you are fluent in your DSA skills, do focus on web development as well. In student life, you will get ample time, and right now in the AI era, with AI tools, if you have your concepts clear, you can actually do it very fast. Even for our field, everything is going on very fast, at a very fast rate. Previously, what used to take so many days and something, it's getting done in hours, but it's based on supervision. You can't just write code without knowing. It will not take hours, then it will take months instead of days, because you will land up with some infinite number of bugs. So web development is also very much necessary. Competitive programming is something that if you have time, please do it. I will encourage to do it, and also not encourage to do it as well. But the thing is that,
Effectiveness.
yes, I would tell you that if you have the knack for it, please do. Because one thing is that if you do competitive programming, you will have an advantage, because you can showcase that on your resume. So let's say you do everything, but your resume is not updated, or maybe your resume doesn't have the things that the recruiters are looking for. They still do look for coding skills. And if someone mentions that I'm a this much rank on code forces, immediately that would catch the recruiter's attention. So the thing is that in order to stand out, if you have time, please do it. But it's not that it's 100% mandatory. It's not that without that you will not get it. But if you do it, you have an advantage. Maybe you get an advantage to do an internship out of nowhere. So who knows, there is a chance, because if you do it, and please do mention it in your resume, if you're doing not into too much, but something that is eye catchy to the recruiter, so that is also important. Now, contributing to open source development is very much also, I think, it gives you a good exposure. I would say please do it as well. I'm telling everything to do, but DSA is something that is not at, I mean, it's indispensable. Do the other things in parallel, but DSA is common. Do DSA, maybe you are doing web development. Do DSA, maybe you are doing then open source contribution. So for open source contribution, let me just share my screen once. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So basically, what you can do is you can just click on this open source project in Google, and you can just go here in GitHub, and you can just go here, and basically here you see there are 713 public repositories matching this topic. You can have languages selected, whichever you want to, and you can select with most sorting by most stars, list recently updated, and you can get a lot of projects here. And another thing is, uh, let's say you go here, and basically you can just choose something like good first issue. So in this good first issue, basically .dev, You can just select any language, you can browse by language, and you can go here and you can have issues listed down here. So you can just click on this, click on a link, and you can just go to the GitHub link. This is closed. You can just look into these things, the pull requests that they have. You see so many are closed. You can try looking into the repo, and basically you can have a good idea of which you want to contribute to. So this is something as students you can explore and basically contribute to them and get good exposure. So this is a very good thing. So does this all answer your question?
Absolutely, sir. Like,
Okay,
great, sir.
okay, okay.
Like, but as you have much more focused on like doing DSA, as it is the basic and actual necessary need for every company. Like, sir, can you please give a roadmap and recommend some resources for starting DSA for a fresher who doesn't have any coding experience before entering college and is in my currently field?
Got it. So let me do one thing. Let me share my screen. Is my screen again visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So basically, it's a good question. It's something that students and professionals and even me, I did have doubts on this thing, how to do this. So I will just start with my journey that I did. As I mentioned, this website Gigs for Gigs is a very good website. Still, I would say you don't have to basically spend on courses or do anything. Just do one thing, just go to the website, go to the free resources. Let's say go to array. So let's say someone doesn't have any background before joining college, so you can just, for example, go to array data structure maybe. So just learn about basics. You see you have basics here. Just go here, you can learn from the books also because they have in details. That's a very good thing. But if you want to do it quickly, you can go to basics, introduction to arrays. You will have basically image interpretations here also, how to declare. You will get the necessary details here itself. Okay, so basically you can go to applications of array, then arrays in C, and basically you can just start with the basic problems. So once you learn about these things, just what you do is just start with the basic problems, then move to the easy problems, then basically prerequisite the medium problems. So once you do start learning a topic, just focus on uh, basically like this, going to the basics, learning the basics, and then starting with the basic problems. You can just go here and you can use any idea of your own. But please, while doing this, don't look at solutions and don't use AI to just do the solution. The fact is that you guys should be actually doing it on your own. The problem is if you do it by AI, the thing is you will not learn. So just do it with yourself. Once you are clear, you can take some AI help if you want. So, and basically apart from this, you can go to lead code also. Let's say you go to lead code and you can just sign in also here. And basically you start with array, you can go to an array to some maybe this. And basically you can just think. So these are given examples. So when you are thinking of approaching a problem, just don't think of approaching the problem directly for these examples. Go through this. Okay, go through this and basically understand what they have tried to tell here, because these examples might not be exhaustive. You might need to think of your own examples, the edge cases which I was telling, maybe an empty array, maybe it's called, so let's say it's given an array of integers. Okay, so these guys have given 2 7 11 15 target equal to 9, this target equal to, so So if you see these three examples, don't read this correctly and directly jump to the solution. There is a high chance you will miss that it has been mentioned integers. Integers can mean positive as well as negative. There is no sort of example given here which actually tells you that negative integers is also there. So if you don't look into this or maybe not follow the interviewer, you will miss that. So
Yes,
these
sir.
are each cases. So think before jumping into solutions. That is very much important. And don't and basically don't try to run and see what your mistakes are. Try to dry run. Dry running means without even running, think that if you have made mistakes, because you should not learn by doing. Basically, you can make mistakes, you can miss out on edge cases, but please do ensure that you're thinking beforehand before actually submitting the solution. So
Yes, sir.
this is with array structures that I told. These two are very indispensable. Um, I would say resources, array and this. And you can go to, let's say, if you want to do competitive programming, you can go to Code Forces and you can just go and sign here. There are a lot of contests and everything that happens on a regular basis. Even in lead code, you will find some contest and everything going on. And basically, other platforms, other very important platforms would be HackerRank. You can go to HackerRank and also create your free account, log in, and basically you can just start practicing, because lot of companies actually use HackerRank for their coding platforms. And other I would say Hacker Art is also something not that much frequently used, but please, you can go here as well to understand. And basically we have they have hackathons as well as here. So these are very much important for you to understand properly what just practice on these platforms, and you can have your own ID in your local as well, which you can use to
Sir,
actually code. Yes.
sir, like we have listened a lot and like hear from a lot of LinkedIn influencers who used to target that like don't focus on doing much more questions, try to focus on learning the patterns. Like sir, how to identify a pattern and how to learn a pattern.
Okay, okay. So, yes, whatever they are telling is correct to a certain extent. I completely agree with them. It's not about the quantity of questions you are doing. Maybe you do 1,000 questions.
uh,
In the
yes sir, yes sir.
1,001 question, you will falter, because
Hmm.
maybe someone was not doing basis on understanding the question. He was just doing it some way. Okay, they would falter. But someone had done 100 questions, but they had learned the basics and done it, they will not falter because they know the basics. Speaking of patterns, I would say patterns are very much important, but patterns are actually something very newly created. Even during my time, during my journey, I would be completely honest, I did not even hear the term patterns. Okay, it's something very newly constructed. You can say, like someone will tell you backtracking pattern, but my question to each and everyone is that, let's say it's a backtracking pattern. Okay, you understand at that point that it's a backtracking pattern. You go and do some questions. Okay, the backtracking pattern, and you go and do those problems. Now during the interview, you would be given a question that could be done by any means. I mean, it might not be backtracking pattern. So, but you have to understand that it's a backtracking pattern, right? Then only you will be able to apply.
Yes
Okay.
sir.
But the thing is that if you just think on the patterns, at that point of time, you know that it's backtracking pattern. But during the interview, you will not know ki it's a backtracking pattern. You will know that it's a coding problem and it has to be done by some pattern.
Yes sir,
That's
yes
where
sir.
the problem becomes, because at that time you will try, anyone will try to think that, basically, is it backtracking pattern, it's that pattern. You will not get that much time. So the thing is, understand the concepts, why it's backtracking pattern, rather than going into that it's a backtracking pattern. Understand the concept that this problem, I have been given a problem, how will it be done, let's think. Backtracking, you should be very quick to think. Don't think on patterns, because patterns may be more, but unless you know when that pattern needs to be applied, you will not even get to that point. You understand the point?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah,
Okay.
sure, sir.
So whatever you are learning from, uh, basically maybe some influencers, they are telling the right thing, but it's not only the patterns, it's something else also. To identify the patterns, you need to know the concepts. So that is something, then only you will be able to apply patterns.
Yes, sir. Getting. Sir, can you please recommend some tools, courses, and projects and repositories available, as a free content which is available, and you thinks that it would really accelerate our learning progress?
Okay.
Like any suggestions?
Okay. So when you mention tools, I mean some AI tools is what you are mentioning.
Yes, sir. AI tools for learning.
Okay. AI tools for learning. So I would tell that don't go into too much complex tool, because I would say ChatGPT itself a very good tool for learning. If you interact with, if you give it the right queries, you can interact it with it in the most effective way. And for coding, I would say the best coding model is Claude Sonnet. If you have heard about Anthropic. So if you go
Okay,
to
sir. Yes, sir.
Anthropic, so Anthropic, so we have this Claude 4, they have Claude 4.1, they have Claude Opus, which is supposedly the best coding model till now. So you don't need to use all of this, because these are on very high credits. So you can just use Claude 4 also, or maybe if
Sure.
needed Claude 4.1 also. But the thing is that it's free like ChatGPT. You can have the chat mode. So if you are aware that we have chat modes and agent modes as well, two types of modes. But in order to, because your goal is to basically understand, right? Interact
Yes,
and
sir.
understand. It's not that it needs some memory of its own or some agentic behavior. So you can just go into Anthropic, log in like ChatGPT, and just use their free version as well. No need to take the even the paid plan, because that would be something that is extra, but that would be maybe needed at a later point, not needed now. You can just interact with it in the chat mode itself, not with a AI agent mode. And another very important thing is that you can just go to this as well. But the thing is that I would recommend not use something paid. If you have something free to use. Chat LLM is also very good, but this is not free. So just use Anthropic and just use ChatGPT to interact,
Sure, sir.
to learn basically. But again, they might be wrong, so you should evaluate. So it's also good to consult this basically for your learning. You can uh, basically look at some tutorials here and there, and whenever you are using an AI tool, just don't blindly follow it. Ask it the right questions. Okay, if something you don't find it okay, ask it, it will respond. Okay, so that's the thing. So I hope with the AI tools, how to interact, this answers your question.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir.
uh
And sir, any suggested courses and free resources for better learning?
okay, so free resources, so for coding is what you were telling.
Yes, sir. Free resources for learning codings and learning basics and
Okay, so
learning about new
free
tools.
resources, I would say, so this hacker, so Thomas Corman book is a very good. I mean, it's one of the indispensable books that you can learn from. And also you can go for Narasimha Karmanchi book, if
Okay,
you've
sir.
heard about it. So this is a very good book as well.
Okay, sir.
This
Like
is a
we
very
will definitely go through it.
this is a very good book. And another very important is cracking the coding interview. So this is also very good. Cracking the coding interview by Gail Lackman McDowell. This is also a very good book. But
Sure,
make
sir.
sure that you are applying these concepts also. It's not just doing it. Okay. And you can just in lead code also go and just solve these problems. But you can learn from gigs for gigs as well. They don't have only problems, they have free resources to learn as well. Like I told you, that introduction to algorithms, you see, it's so well defined here. Even for other topics also you'll see, so they have improvised. So this is a multi-dimensional. So the beforehand they had good way of depiction, but now they have improvised their website. So this has become a further good website to use for learning as well. So it's interactive as well, and free also. Don't no need to go for the unless necessary. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes.
And also uh, and also I would say, not to promote, but yes, I do also post regularly on my YouTube channel uh, DSA content as well. So I focus on concepts. So if anyone finds it a good fit, they can just go over them also. So it's basically free. You can just go, and if you want notifications, you can just like and subscribe as well. I do have a separate section for DSA as well. So you can just
Sure, sir. So we will definitely go through your DSA courses and
so like
waiting in eagerly waiting for your playlist.
yes, yes. So sure, I will definitely give more and more videos on DSA as well. So thanks, uh, Aditya, on that front. And yes, you had mentioned about roadmaps as well. Is there any other question also apart from roadmaps that you want to ask?
Like
Also, just sorry to interrupt, one thing. In Hacker Earth also, I don't know if they have changed very recently, but they also do have a good learning experience. So if you just do one thing, Hacker Art, okay, graphs, if you search, okay, they have a very good tutorial. So it's not about going into, so if you see, so I have learned from them as well. So don't focus on graphs right now, I will share the roadmap, but just showing you that they have very good depiction of how things work, testing your understanding. So it's good, it's really good for tutorials. But please don't focus on graph, it's advanced. But it does have other, similar to graph, it has other sections as well, like linear search, binary search. If you go, you see, you have tutorial. Okay, so how it happens, it's good, it's quite good. Testing your understanding, test against custom, and you have the problems at your side. I myself have, during my time, have gone through these things. They have everything very much sorted out here.
sure, sir, we will definitely go through it.
Yes.
Like,
And
sir, a last question for this session. Like, uh, can you like please summarize like you have discussed a lot of things which is actually creating and messing up inside. Like, can you please give a summarized and brief roadmap for a fresher who doesn't know anything? Like how to start, from where to start, when to start, and how to begin and become a software developer like you, and
Okay, okay,
to achieve like that position.
okay. That's a very good question, Aditya. Thanks for the question. This is something I myself also had doubts during my college journey, and I actually had created some slides beforehand for this roadmap in general, not for the question that you asked. So
Ah,
I
yes, sir.
will just iterate over that, okay, so that you guys are clear on. So I'll just focus on the roadmap part one, the foundations that you need. So as I was going with the arrays, because of the fact that arrays is something of a very beginner level that you need to focus on. You might have normal questions like finding, let's say, sum of elements of an array. Okay, it's just basic. Or so just focus on arrays. Then basically strings are also very important. So if you see very basic problems like palindrome, it might be given, but it's also a tricky problem. When you are given a palindrome, just don't go into the problem thinking that it's a palindrome, let's check it. Ask the right questions, like if it is basically something, what do I get as input, string or a number? Your approach will differ, right? Okay, will it have numeric characters, or what will it have, alphabetic characters? So you will have to handle those cases, so think on those terms. So first of all, arrays, then strings, then go to recursion fundamentals as well, then the code structures like linked lists, then stacks, queues, hash maps. So don't jump into this, because without, let's say, arrays and strings, you will not be able to understand these things and understand it in depth. Go to linked list, study the basically main concept, and then just jump into doing a problem, not into the solutions, but doing a problem. Start with a problem. So
Yes, sir.
focus, okay, and then move to this algorithms and advanced structures. So sorting, we have those merge sort, quick sort, searching techniques, then binary search patterns. Okay, so binary search. So with binary search, we have lot of problems that can be solved through binary search. But it's not that only patterns. You have to understand that whether it can be solved through binary search. You might not even without the concepts and without regular practice. I mean, maybe for the candidate, it would be difficult during the interview to even think that whether it could have been solved with binary search. They might think after the interview, oh yes, it could have been, but you have to click at that instant, and basically no one will help. The interviewer is there to guide you, to help you, but not to help you how. And if you get too many hints from the interviewer and you're able to catch it, that's good. But getting hints from the interviewer is taken something of a negative. It will basically be reflected in the interview. So your thinking skills matter. So just think on the terms of time and space complexity as well, because this is very much important. Because when you think of optimization, you'd be thinking on terms of time and space complexity, how we will efficiently actually, maybe you can optimize to order of n and you're giving an order of n square solution. So you should only
Okay.
identify. It's not that the interviewer identifies. Now, then you can move to advanced structures like trees, binary, BST, heap, or graph algorithms. Then you can go to tries, disjoint sets, union find, then to segment trees, Fenwick trees. These are advanced data structures. So don't think there are so many things. Just start with one and you will be gradually moving to the others. And after this, you can have the algorithm paradigms like greedy algorithms, divide and conquer. Dynamic programming is very much important. I have already a video on recursion as well, how the concepts on recursion works. So without recursion understanding, without having the fundamentals for recursion, because recursion is something of a very scary topic. It's for everyone. So understanding how the recursion works, and then only with recursion you will be able to understand dynamic programming, and then backtracking also. So there is a backtracking pattern also, and also apply and practice, giving mock interviews, coding contests, and real world projects. So I hope it answers your question.
Definitely, sir. Like it has cleared like many blurred and like has like released like and makes a clarity. Thank you so much, sir, for this.
Sure. So, and also the thing is practice, practice, and practice. Practice daily. Once I mean you are done with the college and college learnings, in the day itself, apart from the projects, if you are doing, apart from anything else that you are doing, just focus on at least one DSA problem for sure, and do that uh, yourself, even if it takes time.
Sure, sir. Sir, like non-computational question like arises in my mind. So
Okay.
like how to avoid a bad day? Like when like there is actually like this is common in everyone. It we often feels like I don't want to work today. Like आज मन नहीं है काम करने का, आज मन नहीं है, आज काम नहीं करते हैं, काम हो नहीं रहा है सही से, and like when we are going through and project and continuously facing like same issue or same error and don't and was not completely able to resolve it for a long time, that creates a demotivation like inside us. Like how do you face it, and how do you handle it?
Okay, so it's true that it happens for everyone, including me. It does happen. So during that time, don't, I mean, I would say don't give up. Don't give up on the thing that you are doing. Just take a break. Okay. It's not that you have to do it at instant. If you are telling, if you are not feeling motivated during that time, just take a break from everything. Focus on something apart from your job, your study, and do something out of everything. Maybe go to a vacation, or do something else that actually uh, maybe play games outside, or do anything that you like. It will basically rejuvenate your mind. So I do the same. It happens to everyone. Maybe you feel demotivated, but just don't give up. Just take a break, and then again come back with a fresh mind, because without fresh mind you will again be having the same problems. So I would say that do something else. So
Sure, sir. Like we will definitely like follow up this, and thank you so much, sir, for this.
yes, anything else you want to?
Like, we will continue this in next part.
Oh, yes, that would be great. I would. So I really thoroughly enjoyed the discussion. Hope I was able to understand all the queries that you had from a student perspective, because the questions you asked were very thoughtful. Thanks for the questions, and I hope it reaches everyone. And since everyone, myself included, had these doubts during my journey as well, so I hope it reaches everyone and they are able to gain something from this video. Just on a quick note, if you felt that this video is good, please share your learning. Share. You can share this video also, and please subscribe and like to my channel. It's not a promotion, it's just something that can reach my audience and everyone, so that it helps me just to support creating these videos, investing everything, time and everything. And I do like creating these videos because in my journey I've learned a lot. It's good to share to everyone. So, and thanks to Aditya for this whole session on a Sunday morning. Thanks very much. Your voice is,
Completely, sir.
yes, yes.